Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on the map Prismatic Anomaly with these beautiful looking pyramids that we see. Such a wonderful looking map. I'm a big fan of it. It's just so nice looking. And anyway, today we have C3PO versus Green Fox. This is an APM versus APM game. And he seems to be walking a little slow, so we're going to speed that back up again. I don't know why this keeps doing it, but if you happen to know why, then feel free to let me know. And C3 playing Armada. This is a wind 0 map, so no wind at all solar. So this does mean that you're going to see a lot of metal going into energy production. And if the players do end up scaling up to advanced solars or tech 2, then you can see those solars being eaten, but they are a pretty good defensive wall, and you see players using them as walls in things like Comet Catcher, because if you build an LLT here, for example, and a unit comes back here, this unit will not be able to shoot the LLT, for example, and the LLT will be able to shoot over everything here. So LLT's pretty strong defensive units, or the commander in this instance. And we see C3 going bot hit. His opponent on the opposite side of the map, Green, as red Cortex, just to make things a little bit more confusing for people that are caring about colors, because his name is Green, but then the colors, yep, typical. On a black and purple map, just to, you know, throw every color of the rainbow in. Both players very scout heavy to begin with. Now, Green did kind of plead with C3PO not to go tick spam this match, so we'll see if C3 keeps to that or if he just goes ticks to spite him. Now, on this map, there are quite a lot of metal points to be had. It is made primarily as a team-based map, so there is a lot of expansion to be had. Both players have chosen this middle position here, as we see Green in currently. This does mean that it is equal time to expand to either the left or right triple mexes. And that does mean that as long as they're expanding out relatively quickly, players can scale up their metal production very, very quickly. So we have Green staying in base, putting all of his build power currently into his factory. And different to that, we actually see C3 here with 4 cons. Now I'll make that 3 as the 4th one is being produced. And then his commander is expanding. Now, as we've mentioned many times before, commanders have higher build power. So it does make sense for commanders to expand, but you know, at the same time, having higher build power also is a reason to keep him in base. So you can expand quicker with a commander, but you also then lose that build power on pumping out units. So it's definitely a choice you have to make. C3 building quite a defensive position here in this corner, probably because he's not planning on going back here anytime soon. He is sending a single con, a bot one over off to the left. Now this is going to take a long time because the bot con is very slow. You can see the difference here is that Green is already making it to both corners with his constructors, whereas C3 is only just building the LLT that's defending this. Now, Green has decided to leave his metal extractors completely exposed. And with the amount of ticks that C3 has, it's going to be difficult for him to defend against all that. You can see the little guys running across the field here, about to intercept with Green's rovers. Looking like he doesn't really want to contest this fight. Self-destruct of the LLT, of the metal extractor does not manage to secure any kills at all. Good attempt. And we can see that those 2 metal extractors that we talked about on the left have been picked up here by just a couple of ticks. He's desperately trying to keep this expansion constructor alive with the few rovers he has. And a pawn has made it down here. And there's not much that Green will be able to do against that, and he will lose this constructor now as 2 pawns manage to make their way down here. And that's a pretty big hit because there's 3 metal extractors down there. He is going to have to now send his commander down. He's got 4 cons on his factory, and he's only pumping out scouts as well. And Green is now paying the price for those naked mexes as he loses another 2 on this left-hand side, which he is unable to secure. And he now has to bring this constructor back to rebuild them rather than, you know, going further forward and, you know, boxing off areas of the map for himself. So very slow start for Green. You can see how far that C3's expanded on this right-hand side with his commander here. He's even got a cloaked metal extractor further forward here with this constructor, and a huge line of ticks, 30 ticks currently. Now, one big important part about this map is that the pyramids are going to block a lot of line of sight, so it does need to keep that in mind, how things are going to get blocked by that. Ticks are able to move and turn on a dime, so they're pretty difficult to deal with. Construction turrets are intending to try and eat up all of the ticks that are coming in, but just causing so much harass. Green is really struggling. This is kind of basically an APM battle here. C3 is attacking on so many different locations with these ticks being extra quick and maneuverable that it's proving really difficult for Green to keep up. Green has done his first attack here, where he's getting in and doing a bit of damage. He doesn't actually manage to kill this solar though, which is a little bit disappointing. And the LLT goes up. And interestingly, they're just in the right position for this LLT here to not fire. And there we go, it gets eaten up. So losing about 4 solars there is quite a big hit. He's now having to build, for some reason he's building an energy storage, probably just in case he gets bombed, which is a very good idea on solar maps. It takes a while to rebuild all this solar. So having a single energy storage somewhere that's not going to get bombed does give you that like protection in case you do get bombed. Right now, if Green loses this, he's basically dead on energy. At least that, you know. So energy bank battery, should we say, gives you a bit of time to get back up and running. Now both commanders are on the right hand side of the map, just slowly making their way through. Green having to rebuild. He has rebuilt all of these with LLTs now defending, and has transitioned himself over to incisors and also is building advanced solars. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, we see a big group of 27 ticks against just a few rovers and a single incisor. Green is doing a pretty good job in the middle, trying to apply a decent amount of pressure. It does seem that, so we look in the base of C3, only ticks. He is showcasing the strength of tick-only gameplay clearly here. I think also the big use of this energy storage was to bank up enough energy for the advanced solar so that he could build it pretty quickly. As we look at energy excess, which I don't have it on the sheet, we can see that C3 did excess 305 energy, whereas Green hasn't actually excessed energy at the moment, which is quite surprising. We come off of that screen and just look at the sheer quantity of ticks coming out here. Just see how difficult it is for C3 to keep up with this. He's actually, because of the only ticks that he's building, he just has so much metal that he can't keep up, which is quite interesting, really. As we get, let's try and get a nice close-up look of these ticks. complete devastation as these scouts just make very short work of those incisors. And again up here,
Game started.
LRTs and ticks just destroy him. And bear in mind, all of this army value is just ticks. That's it. Green doesn't really know what to do. He's got a decent chunk of 11 incisors. I don't think that will be enough to take on this commander, as Green is not in a position really to defend this LLT. He does... I was about to say he moves in a good position to block there, but he moved past it a little bit. But as the swarm is making its way in, it does look like C3 decided to turn around. Just so many ticks. How many are there? 160 ticks so far. Just because, you know, why not? Versus 26 incisors. There's a very, very small amount compared to the two. Oh, big mistake here, though, as Green moves his incisors too close to C3's calm and gets degunned. To be fair, he lost like maybe a third of his army there, just due to how little the amount of incisors he has. We are hearing bombers being built. Total of 6 bombers so far. That's quite a lot of bombers. But these ticks just annihilate the incisors. Basically, the strength of a tick here and this many is just due to the amount of flanking damage they're able to do. Now, C3 has decided here he's going to build a different unit, and that is fighters and AA, which is kind of cheating if he's going for only ticks, but, you know. And the bombs dropped on the advanced solars. All of the advanced solars in that line go down. There is 2 left over here. The bombers attempting to get a bit more damage here, but they get only a solar there and a couple of solars here. So fairly decent bombing run. You can see here that he is no longer overfill on energy and no longer converting any of his energy and building more over here. Now, with the amount of energy he has banked, as you see here, not a big deal. He is slowly losing his energy as he's building the converters and the fighters and this advanced solar, but he'll be able to build that for quite a while, so it's not too big a deal, really. Shuriken's not really going to do much here against ticks. I mean, there's just so many individual targets that they're not really going to do much. Plenty of fighters, though, now out from C3. And yeah, this is difficult for Green to cope with. He's now starting to go into pounders. Pounders do have a bit of splash damage, so it kind of makes sense. There is a single pounder up here. He does need a larger quantity of units. Now, another option is he could just build a Juno, and that will kill every single tick that's in that AoE. And the problem for Green at the moment is the quantity. Just in that ball alone, there is 127. It's just so many. And that number's just going up. In that short time, there's now 152. And moving into twin guards here with incisors and armed metal extractors and LLTs is a death sentence for these incisors. And that is not what Green needs right now. Green needs units. He's against 176 ticks. So, just deadly. Absolutely deadly. This 1 pounder, look how quickly. That wasn't even all of the blob. Look how quickly that got killed. But if a pounder can shoot, you just saw how many ticks it took out with a single shot. So, he just needs more pounders, maybe. But pounders are really slow. So the problem he'd run into then is he'd have no way to defend on such a large map. There's just too many avenues to attack. With gunships now arriving from C3, he is running into problems. We do have Tech 2 out from Green, though, right now. And he's chosen to go salamanders. Kind of makes sense. Like a Tsar would be good, but at the same time, you've got to rely on being able to keep units off of the Tsar. And if he just gets surrounded, that Tsar's going to die in no time. It has a large health pool, don't mind, but still. And we do see a big chunk of units here on the right-hand side of the map. C3 is... well, his commander's there, but he's building a bunch of walls. He is attacking on this left-hand side at the same time, but Green is going all in. The C3 is not without energy. He couldn't... and C3 gets caught out of position. All of those ticks mean nothing if they're not where they're needed, and Green manages to pull off a comm snipe and
Battle ended.
Takes the battle. What? To be honest, I did not see it going that way at all. Honestly, Green looked like he was going to fall pretty soon if he wasn't careful. Also, maybe if C3 would have not been playing around, it could have been a very different game. But still, quite a fun one. I hope you liked the tick madness. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.